Keeping a close eye on your forecast, tracking Hurricane Idalia at this time. And we just got a new update from the National Hurricane Center of all those details coming up.
Hurricane Idalia has officially made landfall. Meteorologist Jennifer Lambert, she's been keeping us updated. And Jen, it made landfall a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we saw that earlier this morning overnight. It had strengthened into that Category 4 hurricane. It approached closer now that folks are starting to be able to return to their homes. And also once we really start to see some of that water recede that brought up to the coast, because you still have to keep in mind, although Idalia has pushed away, it's taking more of that rain with it. It's taking more of that wind with it. It's still pushing some of that water just closer towards the Big Bend region. So that storm surge is still going to be a concern at this time until we really start to see it push further inland. And then we'll start to see some of that relief closer towards the coastal areas. So now that that rain and wind is really pushing out, that is helping some things, but it's still pulling some of that water closer towards the coast with it. Now, I did just get a new update from the National Hurricane Center. They're issuing these advisories every hour. And so right now, Idalia is still holding on to that Category 1 hurricane strength. Those sustained winds at 85 miles per hour, still gusting at 115 miles per hour. And then that forward speed still the same at this 1 hour advisory. It's going to be moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. Now it's moved on to the north side there of Valdosta, Georgia. So 25 miles east-northeast, still bringing some of those impacts mainly now to Georgia. And then some of those large outer rain bands beginning to push into the Carolinas and even Virginia, starting to see some of those impacts. But the good news, Florida seeing less of that. Still expecting Idalia to continue to keep some of that strength before reemerging back out into the Atlantic, becoming that tropical storm once again, staying really consistent there. And then even heading into the weekend by Monday, Labor Day, we're still going to be talking about this system once it approaches closer towards Bermuda. Now, here's a look at radar across the southeast, really churning in that counterclockwise rotation. There's some of the rain bands still impacting portions of Florida. They're even pulling it just closer towards Tampa and Fort Myers. Charleston beginning to see some of those outer rain bands. And then even Atlanta going to start to see more of that rain beginning to push in. As for us in Alabama, you can really just start to see that rain not even crossing over the state line there. Still some of that cloud cover, however, beginning to push in for us. Our biggest impacts, some of those clouds beginning to move in, the rip current risk, the water is rough down at our local beaches, and then the winds really shifting out of the north. But dry air is pooling into place, so in case you stepped outside this morning, it felt a little bit better out there. That's going to be one of the best impacts for us, really, is bringing in some of this drier air, all of that moisture, this blue coloration pushing away from us. Now, I mentioned those rip current risks. Just a reminder, high today, tomorrow, and Friday. They are moderate, so we'll start to see improvements heading into the weekend. Stay out of the Gulf waters. Reminder that the only exception is for surfers at this time in the state of Florida. They have to be tethered to that board. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, continue to monitor the tropics, but also talk about our forecast here locally and what's expected heading into the holiday weekend. All that's coming up soon. Chelsea.
All right, Jen, thank you.
And also keeping a close eye on our local forecast, plus also Hurricane Idalia as it continues approaching. And also keeping a close eye on your forecast. Temperatures out there right now really resting in the 70s.
At least for right now for those games.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're keeping a close eye on the forecast here locally. However, you may want to go ahead and move some of those watch parties inside. I'll have a look at your futurecast in just a moment, but taking a
more trucks and vehicles that certainly looked like they were going to help with the storms.
Yeah, and Jen, that'll be needed after it made landfall.
That's exactly right. Just yesterday in Baldwin County on 98, I saw all these T-Mobile trucks coming into town. I think they were staying at a hotel there, so we'll likely start to see more of that over the next few days. Well, but really quickly, I wanted to see if we got a new update on Idalia, and we did. 80 miles per hour for those winds, still holding on to Category 1 hurricane strength and moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour.
All right, well, Jen will keep us updated. Matt and Jason will definitely do that tonight, too.
See you tomorrow.